Welcome to Fish Talk Hunt Radio with John Hennigan, where we're going to cast and blast you right out of this world with some of the best hunting and fishing stories that you can't even imagine.
Welcome to Fish Hunt Talk Radio. This is John Hennigan with my good friend Bob Summeroo, who is
Good afternoon. How's everybody doing out there?
It just keeps getting better and better.
But, I'm having a good old time myself.
Yeah, well, you've been doing some fishing, but
I have.
Yeah, I have. That's what he does. Well, Bob's real job, one of his real jobs, is he's a writer for Western Outdoor News, and he's certainly a very advanced fly angler. Yeah, he'll catch anything, whatever is working. But,
advanced in age more than in experience, I got to tell you.
Well, hopefully with age comes experience. But anyway, Bob's going to be help us out on the show today. I'm sure he's got some comments and things to talk about. And one of the things I want to start off with is we're doing a trip now to Salmon Falls in Ketchikan, Alaska, at a very high-end resort.
Oh, yeah. That's a beautiful place.
Oh, it is gorgeous. Their lodge, the accommodations, and, of course, Ketchikan is known as the salmon capital of the world, and for good reason, because it's on the inner part of the what do you call the passage? What do you call that? The
inside passage.
Inside passage,
as they call it.
Yeah. And calm water, a lot of fish, beautiful lodge, high-end restaurant, all-inclusive, and it's something you don't want to miss. And we're offering that basically at a third off. And it's only $2,100. And that is a deal that we worked out with Salmon Falls, and it's unbelievable.
How many days is that, John?
5 nights, 4 days fishing.
Oh, my.
And you'll fish in a high-end, brand-new cruiser with a fully guided trip by a local captain, and then 3 days in a 18-foot skiff, center console with 40 horsepower Yamahas. Anyway, it looks like we're going to have to start the show, and we're going to start off with fly fishing. We'll be right back with you on Fish Hunt Talk Radio.
A few years ago, a sailor set out to design a boat shoe that was comfortable and stable, non-skid, and wouldn't mark the decks. Today, these incredibly comfortable shoes are worn by anglers, boaters, professional guides, and charter captains. Go to SoftScience.com to see more. Soft Science shoes and boots are lightweight and shock absorbent with just the right level of support. Several styles come in all sizes. Enjoy the Soft Science shoe in the water and out. Check them out at SoftScience.com.
It's time for you to take a real fun adventure. Join a hosted fishing adventure to Alaska or Baja with the staff of Fish Talk Radio. Real Fun Adventures can book you on any adventure you desire. Bring your fishing friends or meet new ones. Fish Talk Radio gets the best deals from our sponsors to give you the best possible price. Real Fun trips are inclusive, easy, no-worry packages to the most popular fish grounds. Trips start around $600. Go to REELfunadventures.com.
If you are still using a plastic hard-shell cooler, things have changed for the better. AO coolers are lighter with twice the efficiency of the traditional bulky coolers. AO coolers are the best available soft-sided cooler with 3/4-inch high-density closed-cell foam insulation. They will keep ice frozen for 24 hours in hot weather. Easy to carry, less space, it fits product inside for better performance. Go to AOcoolers.com to order or find a retailer. Available at West Marine.
With a long pedigree, the Snow Bee brand today offers the very best equipment modern technology can provide. Started in Europe, Snow Bee is now providing quality fly fishing gear in the USA. Waders, clothing, rods, reels, fly lines, bags, and innovative new accessories. Enjoy your sport and leisure time more than ever. The affordable value of Snow Bee makes it available to everyone. Go to snowbee-usa.com.
Have you noticed the changes in Google lately? Did anybody line you out? You can't fake it anymore. They know who said it first, who said it best, who said it the most, who is the most popular, and that just happens to be me since the late 80s, which means that I can put up a page, a post, or a website, optimize it properly, spread it around to 22 million people, and put you on top of your results pages for your chosen searches basically overnight. WhiteMountainBusiness.com. Don't want to wait that long? Already have a website that you thought was optimized and doesn't rank anywhere? I can fix that too. Maybe you don't want to wait. Maybe you just want to call me. 928-228-9228. That's 928-228-9228. I've done it for literally thousands, and I can do it for you.
Welcome back to Fish Talk Hunt Radio with John Hennigan.
This is John Hennigan. And we have with us today Bob Simmerow is co-hosting, who is a well-known expert fly angler, plus whatever else he needs to do to catch fish. And we also have Frank Burr with Snowbee, SNOW .USA. Is that right, Frank?
No, it's SNOWBEE.
Oh, yeah.
-USA.com.
Okay, that's what I had written down. Anyway, Snowbee is been around for a long time in Europe, but only a few years in the States, and we're kind of helping to launch. And what we're going to do is Snowbee is anxious to get the product out and get the name out. So after much arm twisting, we have got Snowbee to offer. Listen to this. First of all, their prices are already maybe a half or a third off of what you'd expect to pay from the maybe better known local or U.S. companies. Great prices, great product. And for our listeners, Frank is going to give an additional 30% off. So you go to Snowbee, SNOWBEE-USA, and pick your order and type in one word, Fish Talk, and you'll receive a 30% discount. That is an unbelievable, but it's not going to last long. Maybe only a couple of weeks.
Let me chime in there for just a minute, Frank. I was just looking on your website, and I see the Diamond 2 fly rod at $229, and then taking 30% off of that. That's going to be a monster save. That's already a great price at $229.
Oh yeah,
that has. I noticed it has the trimodulus carbon. Mm-hmm. Which I know has been one of the proven techniques you guys have been working with.
Yes.
Building rods.
Yeah, and that one's got more of a mid-flex, softer action, which a lot of people like. And it's just really a nice rod to fish with. Mm-hmm. I've got many large and small fish with it, and it's one of my favorites out of the rods that we make.
Mm-hmm. Well, by the way, since we're talking about that, what I would like to do today, if we can, between the two of you, is someone that's just becoming introduced to fly fishing. You guys throw around terms, and some of those terms people might go, huh? So let's start with some rods and talk a little bit about different types of rods for different purposes. So I don't know if both of you can answer that, or Frank, what you want to start it off?
Sure, Frank. Yeah, why don't you jump in, Frank? Talk about what Snowbee has to offer.
Okay. Well, we've got various rods from our classic rods, which started about $109, all the way up to our new Prestige GXS rods, which just came out, that are carbon fiber mixed. It's a military-grade carbon fiber and resin mixture that makes it super strong and very lightweight. Mm-hmm. And those rods, I think, go up to about $699, and those are our top of the line. Mm-hmm. And we've got everything in between. Rods start for fly fishing anywhere from probably about 6 foot in length up to 14 foot in length for two-handed spey rods. And a spey rod is a larger, longer rod used for bigger rivers and lakes and such, where you can use two hands to cast it, and a lot easier to cast, especially for us older guys, which are starting to have a little bit of arthritis or such, or pain in the shoulders. It's easier to cast a two-handed rod for most people, and you can cast further distance with that. The rods are discussed with or defined by their flex, which means how much the rod bends. And you start out with a very soft flex, or what's called a full flex rod, where the entire rod from the butt end all the way to the tip bends, and it's a softer action rod, which is, I think, a little bit easier to cast, is a more delicate presentation. You've got mid-flex rods where the top two-thirds of the rod flexes, and then you've got stiffer flexes, which are mid to, and tip flex rods, which were the upper third of the rod is the only part that really flexes. They're a lot more stiffer, easier to cast longer distances, easier to use in the ocean and such. So there's those are the variations of the different rods, and it's a lot of personal preference as well. Once you get started,
with the new person coming in, the new person coming in, which would you recommend as far as the stiffness on a rod?
I would say for most people, a mid to tip flex is probably going to be the easiest to use and cast, especially further distance, with less effort.
Okay. Now,
and what weight would you think they should start with, like a 5 weight?
I would recommend most people to start with a 4 or a 5 weight rod. The best, I think, recommendation for most people starting off with fly fishing is a 9 foot 5 weight rod. That's long enough to get good casts. Longer distances. The weight of the fly line and the fly rod is matched. That's what we're talking about, 5 weight. 5 weight is right in the middle pretty much of the range of rod and line weights, which start at 1 and go up to 14. It's the most versatile for most people starting out with fly fishing because you can use it in smaller streams and creeks and rivers as well as still water lakes and even light surf fishing with a 5 weight rod.
Okay, now when you talk about weights, what does that mean? It doesn't weigh ounces, it's cats.
No, it's actually the weight of the fly line. So you start out with a really thin, small diameter line, which is a 1 weight. And then it goes all the way up to a 14 weight, which is a very thick, bigger diameter line that's going to be used for, let's say, saltwater fishing, even mako sharks and sailfin and bluefin tuna and such. You want to use a really heavyweight line.
So the weight is
the rod with it.
Is that measured in grams or something? Is there actually a weight to it?
It does measure in grams of the head weight. So the first 30 feet or first 40 feet of the fly line is a certain number of grams, and that does coincide somewhat with the weight of the fly line as well. But everything is talked about in 1 to 14 weight, with the 5 weight being the median middle of the line where most people would start with.
Okay, well, let's talk.
And to confuse the issue even further, you can get different shooting heads on any of those weights to make them heavier or lighter at different parts of the line.
Yes,
so
the lines are made in different
tapers. The major thing to remember, John, is that the 1 through 8 or 1 through 10, 0 through 10 category of weight is just a determination whether it's very lightweight, and the 0 through like 4 through 7 would be medium, and then 8 and above would be heavier, more durable, and for bigger game.
Now, speaking of that, lines themselves, you've got you got the little numbers as WF and S, and so you've got different types of line. Do you want to explain real quick what that is?
Sure. You want to take that one?
We've only got about a minute, Bob.
Okay, so lines start out, the WF means weight forward. It means the front end of that line is going to be tapered so that the very front of it is thicker and wider than the middle part of the line. Makes it easier to shoot distance. Double tapered means it's a less of a taper on both ends of that fly line. S means a sinking line, which means it's going to, the whole entire, either the front end or the entire line is going to sink down and get down further in. So if you're fishing in the ocean or fishing in a lake with wet flies, you need to get that fly fly down into the water, probably close to the bottom where the fish are hanging out. So you want to use a sinking line versus a floating line.
So a floating line is you're on top of the water throwing dry flies.
Right, but with a long enough leader, the leader will sink down, so you can use a floating line as well for shallower areas, even if you're using a sinking fly.
Okay. Well, that helped a lot. We're going to have to get back and cover some more of that because there's still a lot more to talk about. But unfortunately, we're about ready to get out of here. But again, I'd like to mention that unbelievable deal. Again, we know that Snowbee makes a quality product at a very, very discounted price from what you'd expect to pay. And Frank is giving us an extra 30%, guys. Father's Day is coming up. Go ahead and order your gift certificate online today. Well, actually, Father, you missed that, but just go ahead and get on and check it out. It's the time of the year. It's time to do it. So do it. Anyway, you're listening to Fish Hunt Talk Radio.
It's a big one. For passionate sports fishermen who value first-class fishing experiences paired with personalized service and amenities, all-inclusive Salmon Falls Fishing Resort on the Inland Passage reinvents the Ketchikan fishing getaway. Guests enjoy exceptional gourmet cuisine, superior fishing excursions, fully guided charter or self-guided in center console boats accommodating 3 anglers, updated guest rooms and suites, on-site fishing processing to clean, freeze, and pack your catch. Rooms range from log cabin rustic to modern. Our 52 rooms offer the ultimate in comfort after a long day of sightseeing, fishing, and exploring Ketchikan. Non-anglers love Salmon Falls too. Shopping along Creek Street, kayaking, hiking, whale watching, or gathering around our fire pits with a hot beverage, all at prices less than expected. Just pull up Salmon Falls Resort in your search engine.
The East Cape of Baja, Mexico is world famous for sport fishing. Dorado, tuna, wahoo, marlin, sailfish, roosterfish, and pargo. The Van Wormer resorts make dreams come true at a price all can afford. Hotel Palmas de Cortez, Playa del Sol, and Hotel Punta Colorado have the biggest and best sport fishing fleet in all of Mexico. Call toll-free to 877-777-TUNA to find out how affordable world-class fishing can be. The finest resorts and the best boats in East Cape. Call 877-777-TUNA.
Vagabundos Del Mar Boat and Travel Club has 42 years experience introducing RVers to the joys of Mexico. Specializing in Baja, Vagabundos leads caravans and sponsors fishing tournaments, trailer boat cruises, and weekend getaways in Mexico and the West. Vagabundos Del Mar also saves its 10,000 members tons of money on low-cost auto insurance. Stay up to date on Mexican travel with the printed newsletter online at vagabundos.com or call 800-474-BAJA.
With a long pedigree, the Snowbee brand today offers the very best equipment modern technology can provide. Started in Europe, Snowbee is now providing quality fly fishing gear in the USA. Waders, clothing, rods, reels, fly lines, bags, and innovative new accessories. Enjoy your sport and leisure time more than ever. The affordable value of Snowbee makes it available to everyone. Go to snowbee-usa.com.
A full-service fly shop, His and Her Fly Fishing, offers FFI-certified international fly fishing instructor and guide service with Frank Selby. Listen to Frank as host of FishHuntTalkRadio.com or listen live Saturdays at 9 a.m. Pacific Time on SiriusXM Radio Channel 211. Custom flies are handmade to your order in-house in Newport Beach. Fishing in Mexico, Belize, Florida, or the Rockies, Frank and the staff will deliver exactly what you need. Flies and gear. Google His and Her Fly Fishing.
Welcome back to Fish Talk Hunt Radio with John Hennigan.
This is John Hennigan, and our host, Bob Summerall, is an accomplished angler. He's a writer for Western Outdoor News, plus all of his other activities that he works as a real job.
Oh yeah,
but seems like he has the opportunity to get on the water more frequently than I do. That's for sure.
Well, one of the problems is I have to get out and fish nearly every week, one way or another.
Well, because you have to write your column.
Yeah, I just have to do it.
Yep, just have to do it. That's my job. Anyway, we have with us This is going to be fun. We have Craig from Costa Rica, and it's Craig at fishingnosar.com. And Nosar is Nosar, so it's Fishing Nosar. And before I talked to Craig, I wasn't there. Where's Nosar? Anyway, it is in the heart of ecotourism in Costa Rica. I've been to Costa Rica, but I've never been up there. And they talk about the jungles and all this and that, and I go, I didn't see any jungles. What is this rainforest stuff?
Excuse me, John. John,
yes.
Excuse me for a second. A lot of our listeners like to follow along online as we talk.
Oh,
Craig, what's the website that relates to your place?
Yeah, it's John misspelled it. It's fishing, Fishing, and it's Nosara, Nosara.
Oh, okay.
I thought so.
Okay. Thank you, Bob.
And
I want to get that straight because everybody likes to follow along. A couple of people have mentioned that. And look at that. What a creative website.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Now, our blog is up to date within the last few days. We post all our catches on the blog with people's names and what they caught. So people can kind of get an idea of what's being caught certain times of the year. And we're the only part of Central America that doesn't get 400 inches of rain. We get about 150, and we're fishing right now, and it's wide open.
Wow. Now, do you have the seasonal wet and dry season like they do most of Costa Rica?
Well, like I was saying, we have an abbreviated rainy season. It's basically September and October.
No, okay.
And like right now, we'll get some rain, but it'll be in the evening hours, late afternoon, sometimes late in the evening. It just kind of depends on the year. There'll be a certain pattern. It'll generally be late in the day to the early evening hours. And we'll get a 20, 30, 45-minute shower, and then the next day it'll be blue skies.
Yeah, it washes everything down.
Craig, how long a run is it from your place to the fishing grounds?
Well, that's one of our claims to fame is we're 6 miles to 600 feet of water, which we're the closest of anybody in Central America. Generally, most places in Central America about 24 to about 30 miles. So it's a lot less boat riding and a lot more fishing time.
Now, also I understand that now Cabo San Lucas is known as the striped marlin capital of the world, whether it deserves it or not. But the reason for that is there's a deep channel that runs right in front, right past the arches. And marlin like to travel in deep water. Well, actually, a lot of fish like to travel in deep water. And, that's where you want to be. And so you go out and you can be in deep water, within, 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah, it doesn't, not much of a boat ride, that's for sure. That's for sure. And our current, if you look at a map of the coast of Costa Rica, our current comes from the south, and it collides with our drop-off. It doesn't run parallel like off the east coast and the west coast. So the current is an upwelling. And I think that holds the fish in our area longer.
Oh, yeah,
and
brings
it
it.
seems to make them more aggressive. Our area was where the bait and switch was developed, 50 years ago. Make that bait and switch work, you got to have aggressive fish. We have extremely aggressive fish. It takes a lot take back until you get used to these marlin coming up.
Well, the bait and switch, you're referring to fly fishing, where you throw a bait through the door, and just as the fish comes up to it, you throw out a fly line and pull the bait back in real quick.
Yep, and
you work at
fly fishermen almost.
Do you do much of that?
Oh, we do it every week. We'll usually have 1 or 2 fly guys fishing with us every week. I'm 65. I've been throwing a fly since I was 50.
Nice. Well, you and I could get out together then, because we're right there. That's for sure.
I'm not as good at catching as Frank is, but I'm trying to be.
Yeah.
By the way, is there any
you...
inshore fishing as well, or just the offshore?
Oh yeah. You see those caberas and those roosters on that block from this last week. That's all inshore. That's within a mile or 2, 3 of the beach.
Mm-hmm.
But now our Cabera and our roosters, 90% of the time we're slow trolling or drifting with live bonita, about 4 or 5 pound bonita. We don't want any small fish. We want nothing but the big granddaddy fishes.
This is really beautiful. Well, I'm looking too. You guys, now I see that you also are working a lot of the ecotourism as well as fishing.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Absolutely, yeah.
And what do you offer in that?
Well, we've got several different tours, but the most popular one is the horseback mountain tour that we do. And it's not so much about riding a horse as much as it is experiencing and exploring a Costa Rican farm scene. That you get on a horse, you ride up in the mountain, and you eat an organic meal, and then you see the farmstead where they have all the plants they use for medicinal purposes, for spices. They raise their own coffee, and then you end up in the waterfall in the mountain. It's just spectacular. I mean, you see trees the size of cars, and just a lot of unspoiled nature.
Okay. Hey, Craig, we got a little bit of a surprise. Frank Selby couldn't be on because he's captaining a boat in a nonprofit agency, and I think he's sold his boat out. He's a captain. They've got something like $5,000 for the charter that goes to a very, very good cause. But he's taking a break, and we're gonna put him on for a couple minutes to join the party. So,
awesome.
Okay.
Great.
Oh, nice.
Frank Selby?
Yes, I'm here.
All right. So are you finished for the day?
Hey, Frank. How you doing, buddy?
Really good. I'm done for fishing now. We're doing our weigh-ins. We caught 25 spotted bay bass, sand bass, and calicos.
Right. Well, we don't have time to go into the charity. We'll talk about it a different time. But
No. We just had a really good time. I'm working on. We're not on the air right now, right?
Yes, we are.
Oh. I've been talking to Budweiser and Coca-Cola. We need to talk. We'll talk a little bit more.
Okay.
But we had a great time. Everybody had a wonderful fishing time. It was great. We caught a lot of fish. They're still weighing in to see who wins. I only had one scoreable fish.
Do you have any idea how much money came in so far?
Oh, I think we're going to hit a little over 300,000.
Whoa!
I donated my $395 money back to the charity.
Wow. Anyway, let's get on with, we've got Craig on the line, who's a VIP right now, talking about fishing Costara, FISHINGNOSARA, Nosara.
Yeah.
And what a beautiful place that is. And Craig, I understand that you have the rare opportunity to go fishing in a nature preserve.
Yes.
So you're actually located in a nature preserve.
It's spectacular. We have a river mouth, John, that is just breathtakingly beautiful. We take people snook fishing on fly.
Whoa.
They get out there and wade out in that river, out in the ocean. Technically, it's where the river exits or dumps out in the ocean.
Huh.
And, the snook are big and mean, and the terrain's in their advantage, but we'll catch some nice ones.
Well, you've got all kinds of stuff down there. I wouldn't realize you would have snook.
We have, fishermen are only 35% of our business. Mm-hmm. We get lots of yoga girls, surfers, nature tourists, and the fishermen, while they're growing every year, the area in general, we're the only operation in the area that's doing any type of significant marketing here in the United States. Mm-hmm. And we're the only organized. I build every single boat we charter. Mm-hmm. I don't book any boats.
Okay. Well, we've only got about a minute or so, but what can you say that we haven't already said? But it's virtually on the water. It's in the center of a nature preserve, and it seems to me I remember someplace where 2 years ago it was voted as one of, if not the best beaches in the world.
Yes, voted top 20 beaches in the world, voted top 12 must-see destinations in the world. It's the only blue zone in Central America and has been for years. It was the first master plan community in Central America 45 years ago. I mean, I can go on and on and on about the Northern Lights.
Well, let's get in touch. Now, this sounds really expensive. Give us a range if somebody wants to go down there. And if you're going to go down there, you're not going to go for 1 or 2 days. And it's so easy because you just fly right into San Jose, and then it's, about an hour and a half?
No, you fly in, for your guys, you fly into Liberia for 2 hours from Liberia Airport.
Oh, okay.
But we can do a 2 or 3 person package with 3 full days of fishing for a little over $2,500. That's your house.
Whoa.
And your fishing.
Is that per person or per package? I mean, for the whole thing?
No, that's the total package.
Wow. Oh. Hey, let's go, Frank.
Yeah, isn't that amazing, John?
Bob, Frank, let's go. Okay, well, we got to go. We got to go. So anyway, I'll tell you what, Craig, why don't you hold on for? Well, no, we got to go. You're listening to Fish Hunt Talk Radio.
The road stretches for miles in front of you, and with the Ram 1500, you'll be able to reach mile after open mile. It gets a best-in-class 25 miles per gallon highway, so your destination won't just be determined by your gas gauge, but by your gauge for achievement. And the Ram 1500 is the first ever back-to-back Motor Trend Truck of the Year. Guts, glory, Ram. See your local Ram dealer today for great deals. EPA estimated 25 mpg highway based on V6 4x2.
A full-service fly shop, His and Her Fly Fishing, offers FFI certified international fly fishing instructor and guide service with Frank Selby. Listen to Frank as host of FishHuntTalkRadio.com or listen live Saturdays at 9 a.m. Pacific Time on SiriusXM Radio Channel 211. Custom flies are handmade to your order in-house in Newport Beach. Fishing in Mexico, Belize, Florida, or the Rockies, Frank and the staff will deliver exactly what you need. Flies and gear. Google His and Her Fly Fishing. The Soft Science footbed absorbs the shock of pounding waves, engine vibration, and even rocky terrain. Soft Science shoes are roomy and relaxed, and they drain and dry quickly. Check out the Soft Science Fin fishing shoes and boots and the Fin H2O for kayaking and canoeing. They're lightweight, slip-resistant, and won't mark your deck. See the new styles for men and women and get your pair on at softscience.com. Alaskan RV Butler. Guiding, fishing, hiking, sightseeing, adventure. The Alaskan RV Butler. Like a cruise on wheels in the comfort of an RV. View the wonders of Alaskan interior, streams, ocean, and wildlife. Or fish for the big one, all while pampered by Mike, the Alaskan RV Butler. Mike's inclusive tours serve butter-drenched shellfish and mouth-watering steaks. Mike is your personal chef, chauffeur, guide, and planner. And for the real Alaska, contact Mike RV Butler at gmail.com. That's Mike RV Butler at gmail.com.
It's time for you to take a real fun adventure. Join a hosted fishing adventure to Alaska or Baja with the staff of Fish Talk Radio. Real Fun Adventures can book you on any adventure you desire. Bring your fishing friends or meet new ones. Fish Talk Radio gets the best deals from our sponsors to give you the best possible price. Real Fun trips are inclusive, easy, no-worry packages to the most popular fish grounds. Trips start around $600. Go to REELFunadventures.com.
Welcome back to Fish Talk Hunt Radio with John Hennigan.
This is John Hennigan. Our host is Bob Simmerow, Western Outdoor News, the field reporter, and all-around great guy and a pretty good angler. And Bob, we've been talking about fly fishing. So we got you on, and we have Eric from Eric's Fly Shop in West Yellowstone, and I suspect he does some fly fishing up there. So, Eric, welcome to Fish Hunt Talk Radio. And I probably should just let Bob and Eric talk for a little bit.
So you're up there in fly fishing heaven, man. Oh man, you lucky devil.
Right. Well, it's the place to fly fish.
Well, I haven't been up your way in a long, long time. I've been struggling to get out of town and get up there and see what you guys are up to. Tell me about what you're doing these days. What's the fishing like right now?
So right now we've got quite a bit of runoff going on. So we have 2 areas that are fishing good. We're up in the headwaters, so the Firehole River, not quite as affected by runoff. That's been fishing very well. Starting to see some hatches, caddis and PMDs. Then, of course, we got the Madison down in Montana below Hebgen. So you have a dam, so that helps control the flow. And nymph fishing down there has been very good lately.
Have the crowds started to show up? A lot of people getting on the water?
Yes. So in the past 3 or 4 days, the crowds have really started to show up. Our weather has kind of warmed up. We've had a cold spring, so that's kind of delayed everything.
Everybody on the West Coast and other parts of it's been, everybody talks about the weather.
Cold and wet.
This year it's just been very unusual, but again,
so
we
kept getting snow and...
Yeah.
It snowed about 10 days ago here, and now we've been getting these afternoon thunderstorms.
Wow.
And just wet.
Yeah. Well, I always say I don't want to put my political views into it, but things go in cycles. And just because it didn't rain for 2 years doesn't mean it's never going to rain again.
That's right.
And just because it rained this year doesn't mean it's going to rain next year. But it's certainly been a pleasant relief. And this spring has been very strange, but very good for a lot of people, farmers, and it regenerates and washes out the soil, regenerates the groundwater, and so hopefully we'll be seeing some effects from that for some years. But
water's always good for fish.
Eric, I must have something written down wrong. What's the website for your shop?
So it's Eric's ARRICKS.com.
Yeah, Eric spelled kind of a strange way. A
little different.
My word check didn't even recognize it. ARRICK. So it's Eric.
Yes, correct.
And then it's Eric's Fly Shop with an S, ericsflyshop.com.
Yep.
That's an easy one. And then give us an idea. Well, first of all, what about accommodations and how do you get there and what do you do when you get there?
Well, you can actually fly right into West Yellowstone if you want to. A lot of people fly into Bozeman or Idaho Falls, and that's about 2 hours away. They rent a car, drive on down. And definitely if you're coming, from now, through the Labor Day weekend, you need to make those reservations in advance. So lots of people here, so definitely get your reservations lined up. Yeah. We're taking a lot of reservations for, the guided fishing trips. So taking a lot of people out there. And I guess there's those reservations in, too.
And there's plenty of lodges and resorts and hotels that, and then you just pick people up and take them fishing and take them home?
Yes.
And
well, I got to tell you, I'm looking at some of the pictures on your website, and it's just incredible as I look at it. So you're fishing browns and rainbow both?
Yep, browns and rainbows in the Madison River. And then here in about a month, we'll be starting to go into the park more, over into that northeast corner and catching cutthroats over there.
Yeah, the cutties up there. And do you fish the lakes as well?
Well, in Montana, we fish a lot on Hebgen Lake and Quake Lake.
And do you float tube it, or how do you fish that?
Well, you can float tube it, you can pontoon boat it. Also, if you're lucky enough to have a power boat, that's kind of the way to do it. You can kind of zip around and find those fish a little easier.
Yeah, cover more territory.
Right.
And
if I were going to jump on a plane tomorrow and come on up that way, assuming I made reservations, what gear should I bring? Which weight rods? The 5s?
5 is your most common, 9'5". A 9'6" is nice if it gets a little windy or you're throwing larger flies, but all around 9'5" weight.
And bring both. Probably just the floating line would be sufficient, right?
Probably 90% of what you're going to do is with the floating line. If you are going to kind of lean toward the lakes, then a sinking line, like one of those clear sinks, that's a nice one to have.
Like an intermediate?
An intermediate, yes. But right now on Hebgen, we're doing a lot of the chironomid fishing where you're suspending those chironomids below strike indicators, so you would want to use your floating line.
Sure. That's always a lot of fun anyway, especially if you use a big attractor of some kind up there as your indicator.
What you say, a big attractor, what are you talking about? Just a piece of yarn or something?
Why don't you describe it for him, Eric?
Well, you'd have to use a larger dry fly that you could see very easily, like a chubby Chernobyl. That'd be a good example. That's got a big wing on it, nice and easy to see, and it floats well.
Yeah. And then,
that way you can really see the strike when it happens, or any kind of a twitch, you know it right now.
Right. The indicator will move, yeah. And just some quick tips on when you're doing that. I remember one of the finest fly anglers anywhere, Neil Taylor. He taught 3 sitting presidents fly fishing. And he was fishing with a guy, and he's going, 1, 2, and this went on for a while, 6, 7, and the guy goes, "What are you counting?" He says, "I'm just counting the amount of strikes you missed." And the guy didn't even know it. Because it doesn't take much, they don't just...
No, sometimes they're very subtle.
They don't grab it and run.
No. They know it's fake, and they spit it right out.
And
wow.
And fish in your area, you've got, within the area that you're in, I suppose, like within, 15 or 5 or 20 miles, there's, I don't know how many different rivers and different fishing spots there are, but you're right in the middle of some of the best trout fishing in the world.
Right. Within an hour's drive of this town, you have any kind of trout fishing that you want to do. Small streams, big rivers, ponds, lakes, just anything. So tremendous variety.
Eric, one of the things John wanted to do today was to get a little bit of down and dirty for the new guy. So if some newbie wants to come up and fish, what do they need to know? Should they have practiced a little casting? Do they need to know anything about flies? Or is that something that pretty much your guides can help them with?
The guides can help them with that. Of course, it's a good idea to go out and do some practice casting. That's going to help. And then if you are going to do some fishing on your own, practicing the knots so that you can do those kind of quickly. Or as flies, I think you're best once you get here, come in the store. We can point out, this is what you need right now.
And this is how you tie it. And this is how to tie it.
Yeah. So that's some good knowledge once you get to the store. But, practicing the casting. And the guides are great at teaching. So if you needed help with that, they take people out.
Like everyone else, we all believe in having a guide at least 1 or 2 days of any multi-day trip so you can get to know the waters and the techniques for the locale.
Yeah, that's it. Guides aren't really that cheap, but if you're going to go to the trouble of going to places like this, I always recommend for the first day you go out with a guide, and then see how it goes from there. But at least it'll, there's such a thing as local knowledge, which is critical.
But do it your first day because you learn a lot from the guide, and then you can have more success the rest of your week.
And that is, again, that's a pretty easy one. We're talking to Craig. We're talking to Eric, ERRICK, from Western Yellowstone. And it's Eric's with an S, and then flyshop.com.
Yes.
Actually, that's not correct. It's just Arex.com.
Oh, I thought I had it.
You could probably Google search either one, and I'll come up.
Yeah.
As long as you've got Arex spelled A-R-R-I-C-K. And
just don't call me late for supper, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Well, the weather right now is incredible. How long is that going to stay? We're going to have good weather all through summer, or we're going to?
Well, it'll slowly improve, it looks like. But it's definitely a little cooler than normal.
Mm-hmm. And we got less than a minute, but there's plenty of accommodations around there?
Plenty of accommodations.
Mm-hmm.
From mom and pops to chain hotels to...
And you'll they fly in there, check in, you'll come pick them up in the morning and then bring them back?
We can definitely do that.
Okay. And just bring a lunch.
Yep, if you do a full-day guided trip, we provide the lunches.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, we take care of everything.
Good. All right, well, that's phenomenal, Eric. It's been such a lot of fun, and that's such a beautiful area. If you haven't done it yet, it's time. And it's the beginning of the summer, so better hurry up and get your reservations in. You are listening to Fish Hunt Talk Radio. Go to the website and listen to us.
A few years ago, a sailor set out to design a boat shoe that was comfortable and stable, non-skid, and wouldn't mark the decks. Today, these incredibly comfortable shoes are worn by anglers, boaters, professional guides, and charter captains. Go to softscience.com to see more. Soft Science shoes and boots are lightweight and shock absorbent with just the right level of support. Several styles come in all sizes. Enjoy the Soft Science shoe in the water and out. Check them out at softscience.com. Used by fishermen who know where to get the best fishing gear around, AFTCO makes the highest quality fishing rod components worldwide. If it says AFTCO, you know you have a quality rod. Guy Harvey Clothing, the best outdoor clothing line anywhere, is also available through AFTCO. Longest lasting, functional, and best looking clothing you'll be proud to wear. Only the very best materials and workmanship. As soon as you put it on, you'll know the difference. Look for AFTCO at quality retailers or go to aftco.com.
Have you noticed the changes in Google lately? Did anybody line you out? You can't fake it anymore. They know who said it first, who said it best, who said it the most, who is the most popular, and that just happens to be me since the late 80s, which means that I can put up a page, a post, or a website, optimize it properly, spread it around to 22 million people, and put you on top of your results pages for your chosen searches basically overnight. WhiteMountainBusiness.com. Don't want to wait that long? Already have a website that you thought was optimized and doesn't rank anywhere? I can fix that too. Maybe you don't want to wait. Maybe you just want to call me. 928-228-9228. That's 928-228-9228. I've done it for literally thousands, and I can do it for you.
Fish on!
It's a big one.
For passionate sports fishermen who value first-class fishing experiences paired with personalized service and amenities, all-inclusive Salmon Falls Fishing Resort on the Inland Passage reinvents the Ketchikan fishing getaway. Guests enjoy exceptional gourmet cuisine, superior fishing excursions, fully guided charter or self-guided in center console boats accommodating 3 anglers, updated guest rooms and suites, on-site fishing processing to clean, freeze, and pack your catch. Rooms range from log cabin rustic to modern. Our 52 rooms offer the ultimate in comfort after a long day of sightseeing, fishing, and exploring Ketchikan. Non-anglers love Salmon Falls too, shopping along Creek Street, kayaking, hiking, whale watching, or gathering around our fire pits with a hot beverage, all at prices less than expected. Just pull up Salmon Falls Resort in your search engine.
Oh, hey.
Welcome back to Fish Talk Hunt Radio with John Hennigan.
This is John Hennigan and our host, Bob Summerall, who's an accomplished angler, and we have the pleasure, we don't have much time, so we're going to try and jump in. We have Matt Harrod.
Get right to it with Matt.
There you go. We got Matt is the operations manager at Salmon Falls Resort, and I'm so excited because I haven't fished there. I've fished the last 15 years in Ketchikan, but this would be my first trip, and mainly because I didn't think I could afford it. But Matt has come up. We've worked out a deal for a price that is ridiculous. Normally, you figure about $1,000 a day to fish a high-end resort in Ketchikan. Now, remember, they've only got like maybe 3 months out of the year that they can make all their money. And it's expensive to get stuff up there. So it's not cheap, but it's worth it. But we have a trip put together, and I don't even know if I should tell Matt what the price is. But but it's 1/3 discount off of the established price, and even at that is a good deal at $3,300. It's a great deal for $3,300 for 5 nights. We are pleased to offer this trip at $2,100, and that's all inclusive. And that
is a deal.
I mean, it's a high-end lodge, beautiful rooms, a gourmet restaurant, order off the menu, and all your gear, all your tackle. The first day, everybody will be getting on a either 24, 20, 28 foot, 27 Orca, brand new high-end fishing charter boat with a cabin and nice and warm, and I think it's even got heater and indoor plumbing. But just so anyway, that'll be a full day, fully guided with the local captain, and that would be, it'd be just very comfortable. And then after that, you're going to be learning some things about where you might want to go fishing when you're into self-guided, and those are 18 foot with 40 horsepower brand new Yamahas, center console, and probably take 2 people. You take 3, but probably take 2 people, be most comfortable, and just come and go as you please. You want to go out, come back in for an hour or 2, take a nap, or go out and fish for 4 or 6 hours, come back in and run into Ketchikan and do some sightseeing. And it is just a phenomenal deal. And if you can find the time, it would be, what can I say? It's almost free. And then, of course, I figure by the time you get your airfare, your incidentals, your tax and tip, you're probably into it for around $3,000 total, all in. And it's just it's a trip of a lifetime you should do every year. But anyway, so we've only got a minute, but get in touch. Actually, you can get in touch with me, John at fishtalkradio.com. That's John, John, at fishtalkradio.com. Go to our website.
Yes. Can I ask Matt a quick question? Quickly. What about getting to and from the location when you get off the airplane? Do you have to get on another plane and fly over?
No, you don't. We fly directly into Ketchikan out of Seattle, and then we pick you up at the airport, and we drive you out to the resort, about a 30-minute drive.
Oh, it's
nice.
Easy. It's so easy to get there. So easy. All you have to do is get to Seattle, and that's easy to do from anywhere in the country or the world. Anyway, all right, it looks like we're getting bumped out of here, but we certainly hope that we get some people to give a call or find out. And if you have any questions, just let me know. Go to the website, Fish Hunt Talk Radio, and there should be an updated trip on that. So we appreciate you tuning in, and thanks for listen to us on fishtalkradio.com.